Child was yungmiami moving like she was the new Ghislaine Maxwell for Diddy's freak-offs because the way she's being mentioned in the new lawsuit against Diddy by Lil Rod is K-cray. Baby, it's not looking good for Caresha. But get this, sources are also claiming that behind the scenes, Miami is saying that Diddy set her up, got her hooked on all sorts of nasty things, and now she's blacklisted, and nobody wants anything to do with her. Honey, let's just get straight into breaking down this entire madness, okay? Remember, after Diddy was hit with the first round of lawsuits, there were already reports that he was cutting down on some expenses because he was struggling financially. And one of the biggest expenses he had to cut was Caresha. In fact, according to Caresha's friend, Diddy had been paying for private flights, shopping sprees, and rent for a luxury Miami penthouse. The friend also said that Diddy still bought Caresha a Christmas gift, but he was not as generous as he once was, and he stopped paying her rent or giving her money. Apparently, he also told her not to expect anything from him in the future. According to the friend, Diddy is obviously not in a good place mentally either, and he can really use someone like Caresha in his life since she really does care about him. But when pressed by media takeout, the friend also added, "But the money is important, yes, so he has to start paying again if he wants her companionship, and by extension, I'm assuming if he wants his dirty laundry, which is already aired anyway, to stay hidden." But as I have come to learn from Diddy's latest lawsuit, this Miami business is deeper than we all thought, as she has been mentioned in the lawsuit among those who were paid a monthly fee by Diddy to participate in his freak-offs, which again come up really strongly in Lil Rod's lawsuit. In the lawsuit, Lil Rod first mentions Caresha when he says that he has irrefutable receipts of, among other things, Miami's cousin and/or assistant S.A.ing him. According to him, he was with Diddy, Caresha, and her female cousins on Thanksgiving Day in 2022, and he says that Miami's cousin burst into the bathroom while he was inside, at which point she allegedly started grabbing him and going down on him. He said he tried to push her away and left the restroom, only to then be followed by the woman who then allegedly undressed and attempted to straddle him and hook up with him in front of Diddy and others. In addition, Lil Rod also provides evidence of illicit activity, many of which he claims to have recorded due to the fact that Diddy required him to record him constantly. He literally secured hundreds of hours of footage and audio recordings of Diddy, his staff, and his guests engaging in serious illegal activity, and one of them being looking for ladies to hook up with men, and that is where Caresha directly comes in, baby. Lil Rod goes into all the deets of how Diddy recruited Caresha and the other women into his madness, all while making them use laced substances. He says that one time he was forced to drink tequila shots laced with other hard stuff while at a listening party at Diddy's California residence in July 2023, and after drinking the shots, he blacked out and woke up the next morning naked with one of the recruits sleeping next to him. He also goes on to describe other incidents that took place at the parties, and in a couple of them, Caresha was present. You know now what makes sense why Diddy has never cut off Caresha, and why in the past he always did what Caresha wanted. Remember back in 2022, Caresha and Diddy were having issues because Diddy reduced her allowance from $500,000 to $200,000. This was also around the time when Jaguarwright said she probably had too much dirt on Diddy, and that's why $200,000 was not enough for her to stay in the relationship.
She was getting $500K a month. She quit because he dropped her down.
Yeah, I think that's where they're at with it now.
No, but understand this. Think about this. And there are women in this room. Why would you quit? What the f is going on that $250,000 ain't enough?
At the time, Diddy quickly backtracked and apologized to Keisha by filling her house with roses and raising her allowance back up to $500,000. I mean, with everything that Lil Rod has said in the lawsuit, that only proves that Keisha had way too much dirt on him, and he couldn't risk her exposing him. It also makes sense that in several of the pictures Keisha has with Diddy, she has white nails, the same ones Cassie said in the lawsuit Diddy made her wear to contrast the skin of the black men during the freak-offs. Child. Apparently Miami now wants to tell her side of the story. But the problem is, The reason why Diddy feels confident enough to cut her off for good is because he already has lost everything, and he doesn't feel like he has anything more to lose. But if the reports from sources close to Keisha are anything to go by, she will tell it all. Allegedly, she's also gearing up to drop one on Diddy and provide receipts on how Diddy set her up and now has her blacklisted and broke. I bet it's about to get messy. Anyway, other than Diddy and Keisha, someone else who was mentioned in the latest lawsuit is Cuba Gooding Jr., who Lil Rod also accuses of say. According to what Lil Rod said, Diddy specifically mentored Cuba and showed him his ways with the goal of passing him off to others. Lil Rod actually says that he was introduced to Cuba while on a yacht in January 2023, who proceeded to force himself on him until being forcibly pushed away. And when I tell lie all that Lil Rod did not come to play, honey, he even included screenshots, lots of them, to prove that everything he was exposing was the truth, baby. Another incident that Lil Rod brings to light is something he says happened in September 2022. He alleges that a man identified in the lawsuit only as G, a friend of Diddy's son Justin, was popped during the alleged incident. Lil Rod says he heard Aishi while 2 feet away from the restroom at Chalice Recording Studio in Los Angeles. Then when Diddy and Justin exited the restroom, he saw G suffering, at which point he offered assistance. As per what Lil Rod spilled, Diddy forced him to lie to the authorities about what happened, with police being told it was the result of a drive-by. It's worth noting LAPD investigated the incident and reportedly found that G had been hit outside the studio during a robbery and merely ran into the studio. But as we have come to learn from the lawsuit, that was a lie. Yet another person mentioned in the lawsuit is Grammy-winning Bad Boy Records producer Steviej, who is actually at the center of an allegation from Lil Rod involving what he alleges was a promise made by Diddy about one day winning his own Grammy. Apparently, Diddy used his admiration of Steviej to ease the fact that he's always been on the DL. Lil Rod even says that at one point, Diddy played him footage purported to show Steviej hooking up with a white man, while screenshots are again included in connection with this allegation. Those images have since been linked to adult film star Nako Lod. Also, Lil Rod says that Diddy directed Steviej and his son JustinCombs to recruit the girl Polly, and in Justin's case, he was instructed to find the underage ones to attend the parties. Like Diddy even got his son directly participating in the illegal things. I mean, and it goes on. Okay, according to Lil Rod, the real Ghislaine Maxwell was not even Carisha, it was Christina Karam. Allegedly, Christina required all employees from the butler, the chef, to the housekeepers to walk around with a pouch or fanny pack filled with substances because it was important for her to have Diddy's choice immediately ready when he asked for it. Since Keisha was around Diddy a lot, I totally see how she would get hooked. In addition, Christina also allegedly recruited many of the girlies Diddy needed for his parties. In his lawsuit, Lil Rod also specifically says that among other things, Diddy would grab his L. Willie. Damn, he also goes on to allege Diddy would parade around naked in front of him and would downplay whatever he was forcing him to go through as horseplay. Child, what I can tell you is that the 73-page lawsuit was one hell of a read, and I have not even covered everything that's in there cause some of it is nasty. But you know what? As far as Diddy is concerned, one of his lawyers responded to the lawsuit saying that it is pure fiction and then added we have overwhelming, indisputable proof that his claims are complete lies. We will address these outlandish allegations in court and take all appropriate action against those who make them. Another rep for JustinCombs also told TMZ, JustinCombs categorically denies these absurd allegations. They are all lies. This is a clear example of a desperate person taking desperate measures in hopes of a payday. There will be legal consequences for all defamatory statements made about the Combs family. Defamatory